Good morning. This is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, September 11th, 2025. Fire potential impacts are shown here for the next few days, still dealing with some wind, mainly across southern and central Utah today. Those wind impacts will diminish and be focused mainly over far southeast Utah on Friday, and then the winds really lighten up by Saturday. Otherwise, we've got continued showers and thunderstorms expected over Idaho, Wyoming, and northern central Nevada today. And we'll see those storms develop in much the same places again tomorrow. But then by Saturday, we'll have that clearing moving in from the west, with some storms lingering just mainly across the east. Precipitation and lightning for yesterday shows those storms moved into far western Idaho and portions of western Nevada. And then we also saw some storms developing over western Wyoming later in the day, even this morning, and northeast Utah. Some of these storms did have some decent precip with them, but overall the totals were on the lighter end, maybe a tenth to less than 2/10 for most of these storms. Activity was light yesterday with 7 fires per 1 acre and large fire growth of 0 acres. Observed precip for the past 7 days, still mainly just showing that precip we had late last week over the southern Great Basin, and then we had some showers recently over central Idaho and into western Wyoming. The percent of normal precipitation for the past 14 days does still show some higher values with the lingering impacts from recent storms, mainly over Idaho and Nevada, where Utah has been on the drier side in the last couple of weeks, especially across the east. ERCs have come up over the last couple of days, mainly over Utah, especially northern Utah. We've got some of those stations into the 50th and to 70th percentile there. The values coming down across the north with the little cold front starting to move in there. Smoke impacts have really lessened over the last couple of days, and we expect that to continue with generally low impacts across the Great Basin. This morning, satellite imagery showing that area of low pressure over Northern California moving into northern Nevada today. That's continuing to bring some breezy winds out ahead of the front to Utah, and then we'll see the cooler temperatures and showers moving into the west and the north. So for today, we still have a couple of zones that are going to be yellow here in northwest Utah, where relative humidity has been low, and we'll still see some borderline breezy conditions. Otherwise, the low slowly tracking into the western portions of the Great Basin. Precipitation is expected again over the central Idaho mountains, along a band here over central Nevada into western Wyoming and eastern Utah, but there's some dry spots out there. Overall, temperatures are on the cooler side with highs mainly in the 70s, a little bit warmer in Utah where the highs are still going to be in the low 80s. Afternoon wind gusts are shown here, still looking for some breezy conditions over Utah today with gusts up to 40 to 45 miles an hour in some locations. Relative humidities are kind of a mixed bag with the lowest values over the west deserts in the mid-teens, and then we have this pocket of lower values also over southeast Utah. But the values come up just a bit over northeast Utah with some storms there. On Friday, the low continues to track through the Great Basin. We'll see overall cooler temperatures remaining on the cooler side, winds lighten up for the most part, except for some breezy winds there in southeast Utah. We don't have any high risk out. So the precipitation again, we expect to see it in many of the same areas over the central Idaho mountains, western Wyoming, and span across central Nevada and parts of eastern Utah. And again, the winds lightening up by Friday. On Saturday, the low will exit the area and we'll see a little ridge build in temporarily for the weekend. Overall fire potential remaining low. We will still see some lingering showers on Saturday over western Wyoming and parts of eastern Utah. Generally cooler temperatures filter through the eastern half of the Great Basin with some warming temperatures across the west with the highs in the low 80s as the ridge rebuilds across the western U.S. The 3-day precip totals are shown here. The best chances for those higher precip totals will be over the central Idaho mountains into western Wyoming, and just lighter precip across Nevada, central Nevada, and northeast Utah. On Sunday, generally mild conditions are expected across much of the area. No high risk. Then on Monday, this low moving across the northern Rockies the northwest into the northern Rockies will bring a chance of some showers to the central Idaho mountains. Otherwise dry to the south. And then that low continues to track eastward on Tuesday. We may see some showers moving into western Wyoming and northeast Utah as that low tracks eastward by Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, some dry, mild temperatures return to the Great Basin. Not much change in our overall significant fire potential, with generally low fire potential area-wide. And the 7-day precip totals reflect mostly what we're going to be seeing in the short term, but we will see a little bit of enhancement to the precip over the central Idaho mountains, with that next little low coming in late in the weekend, early next week. The 8 to 14 day temperature outlook for September 18th to the 24th keeps temperatures slightly above normal across the Great Basin, and a slightly above normal chance for precipitation as well. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.